Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Lunch and Learn. It is Wednesday. Today, we are going to explore another topic to help you elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. We're going to look at health, wealth, finances, relationships. And the thing we're going to talk about in regards to the breakthrough is 3 signs that you actually need one. So if you've ever heard this term breakthrough being thrown around, or maybe you've heard people talking about a big breakthrough they recently achieved, or maybe you overheard conversations in public and you wishfully think that something like this could happen to you, this is for you, because we're going to look at what a breakthrough actually is and some really concrete signs that you might need one. Okay, so some of you know me, some of you don't. I am Larisa McCooch, author of Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Master Results Coach, and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we work with professional women whose outer external results tell the world they're successful, but on the inside, they know they're destined for more. And so I help them stop holding themselves back and truly go after their dreams, radically expand their income so they could love themselves, love their business, and create absolute magic in their lives. So I would love to know where you are coming in from. And if you are coming in from replay, you're coming in by replay, then type in replay in the chat. So my team and I, we can welcome you, because I sincerely thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your presence. Now, I want to just get right into things today, because this whole idea of a breakthrough, I remember my very first Tony Robbins event, okay? And I'd never heard of the word before. I'm sure it was around, it was just never in my awareness. And I remember going and I was so discouraged initially because he'd talk about these breakthroughs. And I went to the first one and I was like, cool. All of a sudden I'm intrigued, but then I went home and I didn't feel like I got one. And I kept raising my hand and I'm like, Tony, pick me. And he didn't pick me. And I was like, if only Tony could give me my breakthrough, I know everything could be so powerful in my life. And flash forward how many years, I've been to so many of his events. He never picked me. However, I have had the privilege and opportunity to have several breakthroughs in my life. And when I really started to learn what a breakthrough actually is when everything, and this is something I learned from Bob Proctor, and Bob told me that knowledge is power, right? He really encouraged you to study and to gain a high level of competence in whatever it is that you were doing from a career perspective, or even spending your time, money, or energy on. So a breakthrough in and of itself is a sudden or dramatic, very important discovery or development. It's almost like an astonishing development. There's always breakthroughs in science, breakthroughs in technology. So think of this. The cell phone was a breakthrough at some point. And the internet was a massive breakthrough. There's so many breakthroughs that we've experienced in history from a technological perspective. However, you can also have a breakthrough in your own life. Now, in my world, in my personal world, a breakthrough is an opportunity for you to move beyond a place so much faster, so much more effectively, and so much more permanently than you would under normal circumstances. I call my process that I've gone through a fast track solution, the breakthrough process, a fast track solution to help you move ahead. And so often we think things have to take time, and we inch along in our lives and don't make the kind of progress that we would like to. We inch along and we do make progress, but it's not what we know we're capable of. And so when you truly step into a breakthrough experience, this is a term that's widely used in the business world, in leadership, and in the personal growth space, because this is where you get to move yourself forward to another level beyond what you thought you were ever previously capable of. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel alive. It makes you feel congruent. It gets you fully aligned. And these are the things that we seek and sometimes don't even know in our conscious awareness. So how do you know you need a breakthrough? There's a few signs that you're going to look for. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 signs, and then I'm going to give you 3 key areas that you may want to consider breakthroughs in. And I've got some really good examples for you. So first, you hit a low point and you literally feel like you're stuck in a rut. It does not feel good, and you just don't know what to do. But you do know you don't want to be there, and you are motivated to make a change. Reality is that people are motivated by pain or pleasure. And pain often hits home and leads to results so much more than pleasure. And perhaps you used to be motivated and you want to find your mojo again. However, if you don't get to a low enough point, sometimes you may not be willing to do what's required. And that might suck. That might not feel very good. You're like, why are you telling me I have to hit? You don't have to, but that is definitely one way that you're like, okay, I am at my low point. Anything, I have to move forward to get out of this place. I will not. I refuse to stay here. The second sign that you need a breakthrough is you've got problems manifesting in your physical world. So a prime example is like weight gain or weight loss or dis-ease. Any diseases out there, or health problems, these are a physical manifestation of a spiritual or deeper root cause. And so I have a friend who has a neck challenge right now, and when you look at the spiritual root cause, there is a deeper meaning that is associated with inflexibility. Right? Low back pain tends to indicate money problems. These are very typical patterns. Cancer indicates conflict in many cases. And so once you are aware of these things, you can start looking for your root cause and look at the actual emotional or energetic stuff that's leading to it. What are the things that you're avoiding to cause these problems to manifest in your physical world? Because everything is created twice, first in your mind, then in physical form. Before this mug could become a mug, somebody had to think about it. And the unfortunate thing is, when things aren't going well, the things that are physically happening in your world come from a deeper place. However, they seem like they're logical and justified, and it's just the way it is. And when you start looking and realizing everything happens deliberately, that is a powerful, powerful place to be. Third, you see the same problems recurring again and again and again. And this is so typical. Like we talked about weight gain, right? The yo-yo system, the financial challenges, your belief system. Maybe if you're applying for promotions and you don't get them because you just psych yourself out and you get rejected, you submit an application and you're like, oh, they're not going to choose me. And they don't. You realize that things happen circumstantially, and if you don't start to make a change, nothing is going to change. So there are 3 key areas I want to just look at where these things come up. So first, in the area of health, second in wealth, and third in relationships. These are 3 really big areas that breakthrough possibilities are really, truly profound. So in the area of health, so let's look at health. This is, like I said, the physical expression of something internal. It might be large or it might be small, and it could be anything in between. So I'm going to give you an example. A few years ago, I was teaching a workshop, my very first 2.5-day workshop of this particular nature. And I had people coming to a live location and they were on their way. But the whole week I had not had a voice. I had lost my voice that week. And I was thinking, okay, this is not convenient, but I was hoping it would get better because I don't get sick. I don't go through problems like this. And it didn't. A few hours before I taught the workshop, I was able to regain my voice back. Thank goodness. I have some brilliant tools. However, there was a deeper when I really looked at this, there were some difficult conversations I needed to have and didn't want to. And as soon as I was willing to have them, I got my voice back. I had to raise my voice in order to get it back. I had to be willing to raise my voice. Okay. Simple, silly, very inconvenient. However, there was a deeper meaning. And when I looked at it, I connected the dots. Another thing, I'm going to use this example. There was a doctor, and he had lost his son in a very tragic accident. And his son, I believe he was like 18 or 19. And so this doctor, he got testicular cancer. And if you think about where the testes are, they're a reproductive organ. And if his son passed away, that's connected to a relationship energy. And so this doctor was very curious, and he recognized and was willing to look at what happened. And yes, he did the proper medical treatments. However, he expedited his process, had a miraculous recovery, and really used this opportunity to heal himself and that part of the relationship. It wasn't just going through treatments. He really did use this to heal the relationship with his son and with himself in relation to his son's passing. Doesn't make it easy. However, that was the thing that led to this cancer disappearing. So when it comes to wealth, a lot of times wealth is a big hot topic. This is connected to our worthiness, to our careers, to our families, to so many other areas of life. And often issues about money are not just about money, they're about something else. So there was one client I had, and she had some money challenges, and it was not just about money itself. It was about the feelings around money. It wasn't just about not having enough. She actually didn't feel worthy of earning large quantities. She was a saver, and she always had money, but she had these deep fears around losing it. Like, she would have anxiety attacks about losing the money she had and was watching growing in her bank account. She had some dreams that she wanted to pursue, but she was scared to even look at them or consider them because she didn't feel like she was worthy enough to have them or to attain them. So when we looked at her issues with money, we realized they stemmed right back from childhood, and she started to uncover some of those patterns. We unwound the neurology that was playing, and she got to the point where she could start earning, easy for her to say, earning larger quantities of money. She, instead of in the low four figures, she started earning 5-figure months on a regular basis. And she did this in a very short period of time. And she started feeling good about the money she earned. She even told people, she even started talking about money to other people. And that was a huge, huge development for her, because for her to even utter the word money made her sweat. So she really improved her relationship with money when she looked at the cause. There was another client I worked with, and she was on a different end of the spectrum financially. She was earning a few $1,000,000 per year. She also didn't feel worthy about herself, right? So it's not how much money you're making or what's happening, but she didn't even feel worthy of buying herself a barbecue or a new pair of shoes or something simple like that. She was surrounded by toxic relationships with people that were just using her, and she kept letting them because she didn't feel worthy. What she realized where things stem from, she started changing the patterns running in her mind, and started setting boundaries that shifted her perspectives on her life, her worthiness, and what she actually felt deserving of. It was a massive, massive difference. And so these challenges we have, they're very intertwined. We see something, we say, if you can name it, that ain't it. The problem you think you have always has something deeper underneath it. And the fact is, we're not really trained to diagnose or discover these things, because it's not very common. It's not a common way of thinking. However, it is a very natural way of looking at the world. It's a very natural and aligned way of dealing with the challenges. Now, when it comes to relationships, there's a couple of relationships I think are huge, because relationships really do bring so much satisfaction in one's life. There was one client I had who had some relationships at work that were just not working for her. And she loved her work. She was very proficient at getting her work done, but she kept getting into conflicts with people and she would like snap at them. And after the fact, she couldn't believe she did these things. She's like, I'm really ashamed of how I behaved. She's like, I was like a toddler and I just snapped at them. And we found out later, again, problems from earlier in her life. We healed those problems and we started shifting her patterns. We broke the way we broke the pattern she was running so that it no longer ran. When we helped heal her and when she started showing up in a different way with her new neurology in her work environment where she could practice and test her neurology, everything started to change. Colleagues appreciated her and she appreciated being there so much more. She was actually proud to be there. She didn't have these apprehensions about going into meetings and spending time with a lot of people. One last story. So another client, she kept entering a series of toxic relationships, one after another, and she had really incredibly low self-worth. And it was starting to affect her career into other areas of her life. But where it actually stemmed from, she's feeling the deep-rooted trauma. She finally was able to stand up for herself and walk away from a massively toxic relationship first time in her life. She found her self-worth and things were so different. And that's what this is all about. This is about us stepping into our self-worth. Ultimately, most of your problems that you have in life were created unconsciously, and you need to use unconscious tools to solve them. So your unconscious mind works really, really fast, faster than your conscious mind can process. And if you are trying to use conscious tools to solve these deep-rooted problems, it's not impossible. It's just going to take a really, really long time. And they may not ever get solved because it's really difficult to also read the label from inside the bottle. You want to start looking at things from a different perspective. And so when you do this kind of work, it's often good to work with someone else. Like I said, you can do it yourself, but if you go to someone who's trained, they could see things and find entry points that are so much faster and get these predictable results for you. It just depends on how much time you want to spend. And then another thing, you want to start looking for permanent solutions. You don't want to just mask the problem and take another pill or put another Band-Aid on it. You actually must deal with the problem at the root cause, or you know what? It's going to come back again and again and again. And that's not going to feel good. So this is really simple. However, it is not easy. I've had clients that have been in therapy for years and even decades, trying all sorts of processes, come through and start working with me and going through a breakthrough process where literally within the first month, they are free. They're like, these handcuffs that were on me are gone. Within a couple months, they literally become a whole new person and they look back on their lives and go, wow, like, how did I hold on to that for so long? However, they were ready to make a change and they were ready for a permanent shift. So next week, I'm on Thursday, the 9th, I'm holding an ultimate breakthrough informational session where you can really, I'm going to have slides. It's not going to be just me talking. I promise. I'll have slides. You guys can learn how to eliminate roadblocks that are standing in your way of success. I'm going to give you some really good things to sink your teeth into. We're going to talk about science. We're going to talk about strategy. And I'm going to show you some really powerful models to deal with permanent change, if that's what you're looking to actually achieve. So I'll share some tools that'll help you pinpoint where you are holding yourself back so you can create a customized approach. And I'm going to share 5 key steps that you must take to have a breakthrough. Okay, if the breakthrough is not just showing up for you, if you actually want to go seek one, these are 5 steps to take so you can get predictable results. And if it's something you want to take on, you are welcome. We can have another discussion about what that looks like for you. And if not, that is a-okay. I guarantee you, you will have some powerful, powerful information to make some shifts in your life. So I will make sure my team puts the links in this video just below in the comments. So if you are interested in registering for the ultimate breakthrough informational session, you are welcome to do that. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've had a beautiful, beautiful day. I will see you guys again very soon. I'll be back again next week following our book launch in Toronto, which is happening tomorrow. So if you are joining us tomorrow, then I can't wait to see you live.